Everybody, Andy Timmons here. Welcome back to Melodic MUSE for Guitar World Magazine. I'm very happy to be back here with you. And today we're going to look at my tune One Last Time from the Electric Truth record from last year. Thank you very much for voting it number 6, I believe, in the Guitar World Top 20 of 2022. It was quite a pleasant surprise, so thank you for that. But let's dig into this one. It's deceptively simple melodically, but it's really about the articulation and dynamic of how those lines are played. Break this down. It's in the key of B flat minor, which may not be a common key for any of us really playing guitar. We tend to be in things where dots are, maybe A, maybe B, maybe E. And it dawned on me, and it wasn't until after the record was out that I kind of figured out why I was playing in B flat minor, or why I was kind of clued into this key, because I'd been listening to a lot of Chopin even before the pandemic, but there was a particular nocturne. The first nocturne is in B flat minor. If you haven't heard some of these Chopin nocturnes before and you love great melody and incredible chord movement, dig some Chopin. So this was very subliminally influenced by listening to some of that music. So for that reason, I think it's probably why I was thinking B flat minor. And it starts with basically an outline of the B flat minor triad, starting up very high on the neck from the note A to the B flat. So the essential triad is B flat, F, and the minor third, which is that D flat. So basically the melody starts, that little run-in is basically a half step below each of those chord tones. So I'm basically and just sliding down to the next position. So picking it and then hammering on to the note above it. So A to B flat, E to F, C to C sharp or D flat, whatever you want to call it, and then A to B flat again. I remember messing around when I first wrote the melody, or that intro. I think I was trying to play it, playing it as a fretted note on the string below a half step, so that the A on the B string. And it's kind of a cool sound, but the process that I'll go through with any melody is I'm going to find the way that I like the sound of it the best, be it a string choice, be it a position choice. And in this case, it was kind of nice to hear those notes ring together, but what I chose above it was it's almost kind of a lilting sound where it just kind of falls down into the band coming in on that chord. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a definite articulation. So just experiment with that and go to different triads you want. So it's a great device to use in any soloing or any melodic content. Back to B flat. It's almost classical in nature, but you can also consider it kind of jazz in nature because it's that chromatic approach from below the chord tone. So after I play that intro, let's look at those chord changes, because that's, again, tantamount to everything. Every note that I choose in those melodies is really going to be related not to just the overall key of B flat minor, but really more specifically to those chords that are sounding at that time. So let's look at those chords. It's B flat minor, and then down to an F sharp or G flat, depending on the key you want to consider. So yeah, G flat major to D flat major. And that's pretty common because that's like just a 4 to the 1 of the relative major. If you've got B flat minor, that's the relative minor D flat major. So G flat. Then it takes a slight turn where I go to the flat 7 of that D flat. So it's just a whole step down from the D flat to B, and then that resolving as if it was a 4 of the 4 of that key. B, G flat, and then Then it's a C sharp minor 7 flat 5, or C half diminished if you like, to F7. And that's a 2-5 back to B flat minor. So that kind of makes sense. But I you know, in these tunes, you know, I like it when even just the chords sound cool, even without the melody. Just kind of nice on its own. But let's look at now how the melodic content and the execution of those notes makes sense. So I've got the lead in right there in that B flat minor. Now, pretty common sounding blues lick. But pay attention to the articulation. There's a really kind of tucked in slide into that B flat. And then I'm getting a gaining energy. And I resolve back to that B flat, but that's the third now of that chord down the major third. So that over that G flat. And then that's over that. Again, it all kind of sounds B flat minor pentatonic, and it is, but again, where those notes are landing, that's over that B. It's a really nice tension note because it's that sharp 11 of that chord. And then it goes to the. It's got that minor 7 flat 5, so I'm going to that G flat note, which is that flat 5 of the chord, then resolving down to the fifth of that F7 chord. So. I just go right down the 5, 4 to the third, then root flat 7. So again, nothing tricky as far as, okay, this group of notes. It's not like you know, speedy or anything, but it's really about the articulation. I should also point out in the tone that I've got going, I'm playing on the neck pickup. In the sound I've got, it's an old Keeley Mata blues driver into the clean channel of my Lone Star with the halo in the effects loop. The sound on its own, if I were to go to the humbucker, it's a fairly aggressive Marshall-y tone, but I'm on the neck pickup, and with that type of tone, not too saturated, not too overdriven. If you have too much drive, you're not going to get this articulation, because the more drive, the more compression you're getting. So it's going to kind of take away some of that dynamic. But if you listen, you're really able to get from really soft to really quite forward. So everything from really delicate, hearing that finger on the fret, so it's a balance of that gain and having a bit of room in that volume knob to get that kind of, you know, top end to really, really speak in those lines.